I guess we're going to talk about this again. Um, just really because of one person, to be honest, because there's just one girl who I'm thinking of right now, um, who I'm pretty sure is an ESFJ, um, and super likable, um, and outgoing and curious. And it's just funny seeing her interacting with other people. Um, because everyone adores this person. You can tell. Everyone just likes this person. They're very positive and very kind and talkative and genuinely curious about other people and about just the way things work around them. So I mean, I've been come to think of it, I've been thinking about her a lot just because it's kind of fascinating, I guess. Just a fascinating personality because it's so different from my own. Um, and it had me thinking about curiosity as a trait, and it had me thinking about somebody else I know who is actually related to me, uh, a younger cousin, um, who you could tell from meeting him that he's going to do very well in life because of how outgoing and good, like well spirited he is, I guess, and how curious he was. And then just thinking about these two people, this girl from my work and this younger cousin, um, it got me thinking about curiosity and how it's probably the most beneficial character trait that I can think of, um, in this life anyway. Um, I mean, maybe you could say wisdom is better if that counts as a personality trait. I don't. That sounds more like an attribute rather than personality. Like I don't think being smart or strong is a personality trait. So maybe being wise is not a personality trait. But if wisdom is a personality trait, then that's the best one. Um, if cautious is a personality trait, then maybe cautious is a better person is more beneficial. Like in terms of keeping your own entity alive and sustained. Maybe caution wins, but when you're out in the world, curiosity is very very beneficial, I think. Um, it's just interesting because I guess I'm trying to figure out the way I feel about this person. It is really unusual for me to like somebody in general, just at all, to have positive feelings about somebody. As I said in the last version of this video, um, trying not to get a crush on this person because she is probably. I think that last time I said that she was one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. I think I'm going to have to uh, revise that opinion and say that she might genuinely be the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. And I say that in the most um, just trying to be objective and friendly and honest way, and not trying to, like, I know I'm not obsessed with this person or anything, And I'm not simping for this person, but there is a very real danger of getting a crush on this person. And I don't want that to happen. Actually, on Friday, at the end of my workday, I was alone with this person for about 3 minutes. And just the like the fear. I was trying to just stay calm and be like, I don't want to get a crush on this person because we're just very different people. And she's like a neurotypical, sociable, outgoing person, and I'm this autistic, reserved, um, guy who just doesn't really like people very much. Um, but I was alone with her for about 3 minutes, and I started shaking, like because of the fear, and just trying to be normal. And I go through this with lots of women because I have a general fear and anxiety of being perceived as someone that uh, likes another person, even if I don't. Sometimes I will just get nervous around women just for that reason. Um, or I guess I just have a fear of liking people. And I have a fear of being attracted to people and it not being appreciated or reciprocated, so it causes me to be nervous. Even if I'm not actually interested in somebody at all, this still affects me sometimes. So, mostly it's that, but not entirely. Um, and I guess I just wanted to talk about it because I wanted to make some audio about something. Um, but I wasn't sure what to talk about, and then I was just laying down to take a nap, and then this all came to mind because I was just thinking before, falling asleep, I guess. And I'm like, actually, this would be really fun to talk about. Um, I noticed my audio, why I prefer the company of women, got more views than usual. And I think that if I do talk about women, I'm probably more likely to get people listening, which is not really going to incentivize me to talk about women any more than I otherwise would, but it's still interesting and amusing to see that. Um, so I am actually interested if these audios will gain traction, but I think the problem is I'm talking about MBTI a bit, um, and people don't always know what that is. Um, so this person, I don't really know if I should talk about her more. There's really not too much to say. I suppose mostly we interact um, because almost every day she will ask me for the same favor twice, or at this point, I mean, I'll often offer it to her because I don't want her to have to ask. But I know that she kind of needs it, and there's only so many people that can actually help her with it in the first place. Um, but I don't really know why exactly she began to ask me in particular so much for this favor, but just at one point it became this habit, and she kept doing it. And I don't think, because this is, I had talked about this in the last audio, where I can't tell if extroverted feelers have a crush or not because just the way they act is so um, calm. and they're so um, socially skilled. It's like they can be right in your face and you won't even really realize, or at least that's my theory. Because I seem to be able to tell easier, like if somebody is shy and reserved, I seem to be able to tell easier, if they have some sort of feelings than if they're outgoing, which seems really weird. I don't really know how that works. Like maybe I just understand introverts better because I am one. I don't know. But it definitely, I have wondered a few times, like maybe that, like maybe was a little something there, and maybe that's why she was asking so often. But I don't really think so. It's just the possibility is there in my mind. Um, I mean, there's been a few points where this this isn't necessarily an indication of attraction, but where it just kind of seemed like she was like maybe you can relate to what I'm saying, like being near somebody and you can tell they're kind of tense or on edge, and you can tell that it's because of you being near them that they're doing that, or that they're feeling that way. Um, and there was definitely a few times when she first started working this job that um, she was like that, but I can think of other reasons for why that may have been. Um, and I don't think it necessarily, even if she was tense or something or on edge, it may not necessarily, it might not really be anything except a general social anxiety. Um, but then there was this other time, actually fairly recently, where I had gone to help her with something she was doing, and she asked me, "Where did you come from, heaven?" And I didn't hear it properly the first time, or I was like, what did she say? So I'm like, what? And she said, where did you come? She repeated herself, where did you come from, heaven? And I remember kind of being like I was busy working at the same time. So I was half focused on my work, but I was kind of, that like went through me, and I'm like processing what she said, and I'm like, is she flirting? Like I can't tell what that, like I don't even know where that came from because I've never heard her say anything like that before. It was just like, wait, was that like one of those jokes where like a guy will ask a girl, did you fall from heaven because you're as beautiful as an angel or something, right? Like, did it hurt when you fell from heaven, that sort of thing. And I was just confused, but I wasn't sure, like I didn't really say anything. I was trying to work at the same time, and I was trying to process what she said and trying to figure out what she meant. So I didn't really say anything in reply, and I wouldn't have known really what to say anyway, and I still don't. Regardless of what she meant by that, I don't really know how to reply to that. But I was just kind of surprised, like, what does that mean? I don't. I still don't know what it means. Um, but I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about this person, and the thing is, I know that I have a kind of chemistry with extroverted feeling women already because I have enough experience with extroverted feeling women. And I was actually just thinking about it when I was thinking about it a minute ago. the imagery that came to my mind, if I when I was imagining myself trying to explain it, um, when extroverted feeling women start interacting with you and you start hitting it off, as an INTP man, I guess I'm talking about myself. It's like being in danger of getting caught up in a tornado, because basically they'll say something and you'll say something and you'll start to feel each other a bit more, and you'll like each other more, and the energy will like keep growing and like getting faster, and she'll start being really enthusiastic and friendly, and it's like you're more slow and cautious, but she's feeling like happy and joyful, and it doesn't necessarily have to be it doesn't have to be like any romantic or sexual tension thing. It can just be a platonic thing entirely. But basically, she'll start like it's like this super high energy interacting with you, and you can't help but you kind of enjoy it, but you're not expecting it at the same time. Like it's not something you're capable of. You're not that outgoing. And so maybe she'll kind of come to you and like she's still on the high of your last interaction, and maybe you were talking and laughing or something, but your energy has gone back to normal. So your energy goes back to normal, and she comes to you and she's like happy and smiling, but you've gone back into your shell, and then she's talking or whatever, and you start to it's like you can't help but being happy, and so you kind of get pulled up into it again. And basically what can happen is you can kind of get pulled into her tornado, into this this high energy state where you see the person and you immediately have your positive feelings, and you're smiling and you're happy, and it's like this is so weird because I usually don't feel this way about the presence of other people. You know, most normal people, like they'll see a friend of theirs and they'll immediately start smiling. I usually don't I usually don't do that for anybody, right? And so when I actually really enjoy somebody else's company, it's kind of embarrassing because I will start to do that sort of thing where I'll see somebody and I'll start smiling, or like I'll immediately be put in a good mood. And it's just I think it's just kind of embarrassing as a man of the the melancholic temperament. As a man of melancholic temperament, it is embarrassing to have passionate feelings about another person that are um, powerful, I guess. You can't control your own emotion there. It's like you just like the other person so much, and then they're also um, if they're also an attractive person of the opposite sex, then you will not entirely be sure what you're feeling, and you'll question why you're feeling it. Um, and I guess it's just like you can't, or at least I can't figure stuff out. It's like, I don't know if I like this person. Um, I don't know if I'm about to fall in love with this person or something if I'm not careful. And honestly, it kind of puts me on guard. But I don't know. I think that when you're an INTP man, when it comes to extroverted feeling women, I think that the only thing you can really, like if you find somebody you're interested in, I don't think that you should try to be the pursuer. Um, if you're romantically interested in an extroverted feeling woman, because I think that she will do it herself. And it might take her some time, but I am convinced that um, extroverted feeling women in particular, and actually general advice as an INTP, and I think I mostly got this from C.S. Joseph. Um, he basically, I, I would have come to this conclusion by myself as well, I think, but in his opinion, when it comes to when you're an INTP with a romance, his opinion was basically you need to let other people come to you because they're going to be better at choosing than you are, and they're going to know how to do it, and it'll just be better if you let other people do it. So if I do develop a crush on this person, I'm not really going to do anything because it's not my role. Like it's not who I am. Um, it's just not. It's not my place, right? Like I don't have that burden and that privilege at the same time. So it's just because of the way that I am and the way my brain works and my place in the world and the way that this person works and their place in the world. It's not my place to be the initiator or pursuer of anything. That's that person's place. So it's basically if I like that person, then I'll be the one who will be receptive to their advances. Um, if they were to do anything. And I think that that's basically how you should approach these things as an INTP. And I think that, people say like women never make the first move, and that's just not true. I mean, you have to be somebody who is, um, you have to be, somewhat attractive to the other person. So you have to at least meet that requirement. I mean, that's just a necessity. If you want someone romantically or sexually interested in you, they have to be attracted to you. So that's you just make yourself attractive, and if you can, um, and like that's your best move, basically. Um, I don't know if I have too much else to say. Let me pause for a second. With this particular person, um, I was gonna say, I was gonna make some kind of weather forecast, like saying, okay, I'm not even gonna say anything. I don't want to give my opinion of what I think could happen. Um, Because to be honest, I mean, I can speculate, but I just would never really know. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's interesting because in general, just even just in a friendly way, I do like her, and it's very enviable how literally everyone likes this person. I mean, I don't think that I could find anybody who doesn't like this person. It's funny how older people will act to younger people of the opposite sex. I think this person is actually like 18 or 19, maybe 20. Um, and so, people like I've heard one person refer to her as a good kid, like she's a good kid. Um, but it's funny seeing people like of the opposite sex who are older how they behave towards young attractive people even if there is no sexual interest whatsoever. It's like you can tell that they like the other person a bit more because the other person is beautiful or handsome or something. Like there's there's definitely something there, something black pilling. There's definitely something black pilling about it. Um, and you also have to wonder how that affects, like when everybody loves you because you're gorgeous. Like you have to wonder how much that affects how outgoing and sociable somebody is when they're constantly getting const positive reception. I was listening to some black pill. Yeah, it's Savvy Guy or Oreo Man, right? I was listening to a bunch of him last week, and he was talking about um, actually I think in a more recent video. It's amazing how he's been doing it for like over a decade. Uh, Literally amazing how he's been making these videos that whole time. Um, and also very tragic. But he had some video, he was saying, if you're outgoing, if you're an extroverted, sociable person, it's more because of black pill reasons, like because of your exterior beauty rather than that just being who you are. And he was saying if you're an introvert, it's not really your fault, it's not really who you are. And I think that when it comes to, the truth is everything, in my opinion, basically everything that happens is fated or a result of fate. Um, so yes, I think that he is correct. I don't necessarily believe that, um, I do believe that some people are just more naturally extroverted or introverted, especially with the more Jungian sense of it. But in the simple social sense, there's definitely some truth there that how other people treat you is, of course, going to affect whether or not you're outgoing or reserved. That's absolutely true. And, that's sad, I guess. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just kind of, I don't know, just kind of interesting. And you just have to wonder, like, how much of that is present here because this person is very, very beautiful. And you just, I don't know. It's like, I remember, like, one of the last things I saw at the end of the work week was there was a couple of older men who, like, she was walking in their direction, and they looked at her, and one of them goes, "Uh-oh," like, "Uh-oh, here she comes," in like a joking way. Um, I've seen TikToks, like sometime a woman saying that like sometimes older guys will go like, "Uh-oh, here comes trouble," and it was like that, except he didn't say the "here comes trouble" part. He just said, "Uh-oh." It's like it's just funny. It's like you can tell that it has something to do with how beautiful the young person is, but it's not necessarily like the older man is a creep or anything, or it's just they like the younger person. It's like the whole, she's a good kid. And it's just getting happy because of the person they're seeing is pretty. Even if you know, no matter your sexuality, you can appreciate an attractive person. Um, I mean, us guys, we like all those black pill edits on TikTok. We like that stuff, or like we like men like other handsome men, and women like beautiful women. And it's not even necessarily and I'm talking about straight men and straight men like handsome men, and straight women like beautiful women. And it's not a sexual thing. It's just a beauty thing and an appreciation for beauty. And it is a black pilling thing too, but I mean it is what it is. It's just the the way the world works. And I guess it's just fascinating to me. I don't know how, can't understand it and fully grasp it. It's just interesting, I guess. But I guess I mainly wanted to talk because I feel the need to just talk about how pretty and beautiful this person is. Like, sometimes somebody is just um, so they just have such an effect on you, and you just feel the need to like get that energy off your chest and just talk about it and just say something. Like, you'll just say something just because you feel like you have to, you know, against your better judgment.